whoa, oh, it's a boss, it's a boss. Okay, on the jurisdictionary, the second disc that he has, it's PDF files. And he talks about, he's got the PDF files. One of them is to be heard. The other one is causes, tons and tons of causes, evidence. He gets into the easy guide, a flow chart, all the forms you need, in whether you're a defendant, whether you're a plaintiff, all the way through the whole case. Talks about how to win, and language, how important language is, how to structure your sentences, how to make sure that you have a noun and a verb, and you don't go past a simple sentence. You don't string sentences together in a lawsuit. Okay, he gets into maxims, all the motions that are, you can make up a motion for anything. I make a motion that the air conditioner be turned on because the guy that owns this building didn't pay the air conditioning bill. I make a motion that the bathroom's flush, you know. I make a motion that he takes off his white tie because the sun is glaring on it, it's making my eyes burn. Okay, objections and how to object and what to object about. He gets into the summary, the trial, and then he has a section on free works. The free works has the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the Magna Carta. He gets into all kinds of stuff in our history that's very, very important on why we have the rights that we have, and we have the ability to go in and fight for ourselves, and how to present it, and what we can use as evidence in our court to substantiate our claim. Remember, we're sovereigns. We have all the right that was given to us by God, and there's nobody, it's like a car lot. Pretend there's a car lot with 1,000 cars in it, and each one of them represents one of our rights. Now, you own these cars, and you own these rights. Who has the authority and the right to come into your car lot and to take one of your cars, or one of your rights, without justification or your permission? Nobody. So when somebody takes that car, you're not going to stand back and let them take it. Darn it, do something. Learn how to protect them. And that's the problem. These kids today think they have no rights. I asked a couple over there in Subway when we were in there. I said, one guy says, I asked 4 people, how many rights do you have? One guy says, not very many. One woman says, none. Another woman says, none. Then there was another guy, and he says, we don't have any rights anymore. I said, why? Remember, were you with me?
I was.
Rob was with me.
Yeah.
And I says, you only have the rights that you're willing to fight for. If you're willing to fight for it, you can have that right. So you walk into the courtroom and you say, excuse me, are you the judge? Yes, I am. Well, if you're the judge, are you my boss? Well, no, I'm not your boss. Are you a public servant? Yes, I am. Well, then wouldn't I be your boss as one of the people? Why, yes, you would be. Well, if I'm your boss, what right do you have to take away what's mine? They get upset. But it's true. They don't know. They don't know we know this stuff. They think they're gods. They're not. They're not. Also, on this second CD, there's Articles of Confederation, Common Sense by Thomas Paine, the Constitution's Declaration of Independence, Federalist Papers, Hard Times by Charles Dickenson's The Magna Carta, Mayflower Compact, Autobiography by Ben Franklin, The Republic, The Rights of Man, The Social Contract, and The Wealth of Nations. And the 2 CDs are audios you can put in your car as you're driving. They're basically questions that people are asking him, and he's describing different cases and different scenarios on how to attack it or protect yourself and so forth. So, like he says, the key to winning is confidence, the key to confidence is knowledge, the key to knowledge is truth, and not every case is winnable, and not every wrong has a remedy. You have to understand everything that we've talked about today. Mike, Rob, myself, other than the food part. Whenever we're dealing with the court, everything is a constructive trust. Every time we sign our name, it creates a constructive trust. The remedy is we don't go in, where we have to go in, and we have to claim that trust as the beneficiary, not the trustee. They treat us like the trustees, charge us for all of these payments, for the fines, for the court fees. Okay, here's another example of, I didn't use this in my case, but it's a very eloquent thing. I wish I would have had it. I really would have got a laugh out of the jury as well. And I would have put in there that when they filed these charges against me, when these state troopers and the county sheriffs came after me and arrested me, and they filed the cause of action against me that caused me to be in the court, they never paid for the filing of the case. Now, I behoove anybody to go into any court and try to file the case without paying the filing fee. If you don't pay the filing fee, the case cannot get on the docket. Now pray tell, how can a case get on the docket against me if they never paid the fee to get the case on them? Now these people are being paid by our taxes. So even if they charge me to file a case, I'm paying them to do their job again. That's double dipping. If I had to file an appeal, it's double dipping again. So, which is it? If I'm required to pay for the filing of my lawsuit, aren't they also required to pay the filing fee for the lawsuit? If they're not required, then neither am I. It's simple, you know? So, yeah, knowing how to get these guys is our goal, is going after them. And it's, for instance, okay, we'll say, a lot of guys get talking about traffic. Traffic. That's a big issue. Everybody's bound up by traffic. So, you get in, when a police officer, he loses his jurisdiction the second he stops his patrol car and gets out and walks up to your car. He has no jurisdiction. So what do? You have the jurisdictionary format to go after and use all of the tools in this to attack them. Okay. Where's his jurisdiction when the law says the commencement of an action has to start with a complaint and a summons and an affidavit that's sworn to by oath of a damaged party? There is none. He just walks up and says, oh, well, you got a ball tire, or your inspection sticker's out of whack, or whatever. Okay, well, number one, what jurisdiction do you have to stop me? That's one of the areas. The other is, could you describe for me, officer, what commerce or commercial activity that you feel that I'm involved in, or can prove that I'm involved in? Well, there is none. Okay, then if I'm not involved in any commercial activity, where's your authority to stop a private person? A private party. If I'm not in commerce, then what am I doing, officer? You're operating the vehicle, the motor vehicle, or you're driving it. Are you aware that under Title 49, the word driving and operating are commercial terms? And you just said I'm not involved in commerce. So how would those terms apply to me? Well, I don't know, just show me your license and your registration and insurance card. My license never leaves my wallet, unless I'm driving a semi, or I'm doing work for hire. So he says, oh, okay. So I reach over my sun visor and I pull down an envelope and I got my registration and insurance card on it. Now bear in mind, my pickup truck is not licensed to me. It's not in my name. It's in somebody else's name, specifically for that purpose. So I got the registration, I've got the insurance card, and he puts his hand up to grab it out of the window, and I take it and I set it on the dash. And he says, can I see that license and registration? I go, absolutely, you sure can. Well, would you hand it to me? I look at the cop and I say, well, you know, I'd love to, officer. I really would love to. Except, it's not mine. He goes, what do you mean it's not yours? I says, it belongs to the state of New York. And I do not have written permission from the state of New York to give it to anybody. Now, if you would please, go to your radio, and you got a fax machine, computer, and all that stuff. If you could get written permission for me to give it to you, I'll be more than glad. Or another way, I said, an alternative, I said, I'll get out of the truck, pickup. I'll leave it on the dash, and you just reach in there and take it. No, I can't do that. Of course, I know he can't do that, because he needs a court order to take anything, or to reach into that car or pickup or whatever it is. He can't do it. And I said, if you would have ran the license plate number down when you stopped me, which I know you did, you'd have all the information you need. There's no need to ask me for anything. Now, do you have a warrant for my arrest? I don't know, you won't identify yourself. Well, you should have a picture on that warrant. Obviously, all warrants, they know who they're looking for. Do I fit the description of a warrant? He says, no, I don't have a warrant. I says, so what's the probable cause to stop me? And you get these guys going, they don't know what to do. He started banging on my window with his flashlight. I says, you do that one more time. And I says, I'll get you for damaging property. I'll have you arrested. So, the more we know, we can stand these guys off. They're nobody. I mean, this was the meanest, baddest town cop in the town. And I had this guy shaking. Until finally he called for backup. And then 2 state police cars pulled in, 2 guys in each car, there was 4 altogether. And they circled my pickup, and like they're going to pick it up and throw it away. And the one cop walks over to the window, and he looks in the window, and he looks at me. And apparently he recognized me. So he walks back to the town cop, and he said to him, he said, do you know who that guy is in the pickup? And he says, no, he won't identify himself. So the state trooper says to him, he says, well, what did he tell you? So he told him everything I said. Trooper looks at him, and he says, he pats him on the shoulder, he says, we're leaving. He says, if I were you, he says, I'd let him go. He goes, really? And I heard the cop say, see ya. They got in their cop cars and they left. So the town cop comes walking over to the pickup truck and still got the registration on the dash. He walks up and he says, well, it's your lucky day. I says, really? Why? You got money for me? He says, better than that, I'm not going to give you a ticket. I says, oh, I says, you were wrong about that. He says, why? I says, it's your lucky day that you're not going to give me a ticket.